Good morning, beloveds. If you can't tell by the title, we've got an Ernest Holmes reading. The last two readings of the year are going to be Ernest Holmes, which makes sense. Of course, we would end the book with Ernest Holmes. And we've got a kicker of a title today. I bear the eternal stamp of individuality. That is not an Ernest Holmes title. I don't know what is. And there's only one quote. Did I say it was December 30th? December 30th. I bear the eternal stamp of individuality. And this is the promise that it hath promised us even eternal life. And that is 1 John 2:25. Life has set the stamp of individuality on your soul. You are different from any other person who has ever lived. You are an individualized center of the consciousness of God. You are an individualized activity in the action of God. You are you, and you are eternal. Therefore, do not wait for immortality. The resurrection of life is today. Begin to live today as though you are an immortal being, and all thought of death, all fear of change will slip from you. You will step out of the tomb of uncertainty into the light of eternal day. I know that every apparent death is a resurrection. Therefore, gladly I die to everything that is unlike the good. Joyfully I am resurrected into that which is beautiful, enduring, and true. Silently I pass from less to more, from isolation to inclusion, from separation into oneness. Today, realizing that there is nothing in my past which can raise against me, nothing in my future which can menace the unfoldment of my experience, I know that life shall be an eternal adventure. I revel in the contemplation of the immeasurable future, the path of eternal progress, the everlastingness of my own being, the ongoing of my soul, the daily renewed energy and action of the divinity within me, which has forever set the stamp of individualized being on my mind. Ernest Holmes. Of course, we're going to get this kind of stuff at the end of the year. And of course, you know, I like to remind you guys that whatever's going on in your life is going to affect the way you interpret reading. I say sacred literature, but I mean any kind of reading. There's been a meme going around, and I forget who the quote's attributed to, but, you know, the book that you read at 15 it's going to be the same book if you read it again at 50, but your experiences will inform you differently. And so whatever's going on in your life is going to change the way you read books. It's going to change the way you listen to music. It's going to change the way stories hit. So like if you watch movies or things like that, because watching a movie and reading a book, kind of the same thing there. It's a story, and music is a story. And so whatever is going on in your life is going to change the way you hear the story. You are going to get different information from the story. And that's one of the reasons why I will frequently say, okay, here's what's happening. Especially if something momentous has happened. I'm reading the story about the stamp of individuality, and I'm talking about resurrection, and I'm talking about the fear of death, and a very important person in my life has just passed. One of our practitioners, Ruth, made her transition at 2:00 in the morning yesterday. And it's been interesting to watch how we have responded. And my comment is, it's silly, but it's a small comfort to me that now she can eat whatever she wants. Whatever she wants. Because that's been a big thing for her through all of the physical challenges that she's had over the last few years is that there were things that she couldn't eat. There were a lot of things she couldn't eat. And so it's like, okay, now she's shed this vehicle, because we're not our body. I've said that multiple times. She shed this vehicle. Well, she can eat whatever she wants now. And then somebody else said she's free to roam the cosmos. And that's our Ruth. But that's what Ernest Holmes is talking about. We are individual centers in the God consciousness. And just because we shed this body doesn't mean that stops. It's like, why wait for immortality? Why not live your life now as if you're going to live forever? Because you are. But that also means do all the things. Do all the things that you want to do now. I frequently say, eat dessert first. It's a metaphor. Sometimes I literally mean eat dessert first. But what it means is don't save the good china. Don't save the good clothes. Wear them now. Use those dishes now. Read that book now. Watch that movie now. Don't save it for later. Enjoy your life now. And that's what Ernest is talking about. When he's talking about, you're immortal, live your life as if you're immortal. He's not saying, well, you can put things off. He's saying, do them now. Stop living in fear that it could end, because it doesn't. It will change. Absolutely, it will change. But it's not going to end. So do all the things now. Don't let those, and I'm going to use the word risk, don't let those risks get in your way. There are things that you want to do and, that your soul is craving to do. Don't wait. Don't wait. Make good choices. Ernest is a big believer in making good choices, but, live your life now. Because once you know who you are, and it's saying that you're an individualized center in God consciousness. What does that even mean? Or what was the other one that he said? You are an individualized activity in the action of God. You are you, and you are eternal. He reminds me of Dr. Seuss right there. You are you. Nobody could be youer than you. Therefore, do not wait for immortality. The resurrection of life is today. Begin to live today as though you are an immortal being, and all thought of death, all fear of change will slip from you. Okay? You will step out of the tomb of uncertainty into the light of eternal day. Once you know who you are, once you recognize that you are a individualized center of God consciousness, that you are God in action, that you are spirit in motion, a lot of the fear does slip away. It's like change happens. It happens. But when you know who you are, you know that you'll be okay no matter what happens. And that's where it is. Yesterday, we woke up to a new world. We woke up to a world without the physical form of Ruth in it. But we woke up to a world where she's now literally our guardian angel. She's literally our guardian angel. And we know that. We know that. And it gives me a little bit of comfort to know that she's always watching over me. And she's not doing it from a limited physical form anymore. When I went to ministerial school, she gave me a little, about this tall, a little angel. And she said, so you'll always have an angel watching over you. Well, I literally have a guardian angel named Ruth now. And so do you. So do you. Because trust me, Ruth loved everybody. She knew who she was. And I will never forget her favorite phrase. I want to know this teaching in my bones. When you know this teaching in your bones, when you are confident in who you are, it doesn't mean you won't ever be scared. But it does mean you know you'll always be okay. That is what science of mind teaches. Courage is, one of the definitions of courage is being afraid and doing it anyway. And sometimes that's what we have to do with life. When we know who we are, we know that no matter what happens, we'll be okay. So we can do it scared. All right. I don't know if I've done Ernest Holmes justice today. I'm a mess and I'm okay with that. So, if you have a better idea of what the stamp of individuality means, please feel free to comment. And then the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is that last line that he uses. Our mission today is to step out of the tomb of uncertainty and into the light of the eternal day. And just a quick reminder of what that means. Know who you are. Know that you are a beloved child of God. Know that you are an individualized center in the God consciousness. One of the most stirring images that I've ever had was when I took the reincarnation class from Dr. Amit Goswami while I was in ministerial school. And our lives are pearls on a string. That's what they are. They are continuous with little knots in between. And we don't know what the next pearl is going to look like, but I'm confident that there's a next pearl. So, okay. The other mission, same one I give you every day, super important right now, is the mission. It's a spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Yesterday I said it was to be gentle with yourself. Today I'm going to say it again, be gentle with yourself. She impacted our lives in so many ways. And the best thing that we can do is live up to what she taught us, which is to be kind and to be generous and to love everybody and to make room for everybody. You know, she was a wonderful lady. And she always had a hug for you. And yeah, you know, cause she would walk up to you and declare things. Spiritual practice there. Ah, Ruth. Okay. Yes. Let me collect myself. The spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself is absolutely about self-care. It's absolutely about self-care. It looks like taking a walk. It looks like taking a nap. It looks like taking a deep breath before you speak. It looks like crying when you need to. It looks like hugging somebody when you need to, as long as that you have consent. It looks like eating dessert first. It looks like making room for joy. All right. In the midst of our grief, we have room for joy because, quote, and I don't know who it is, so bear with me. Don't be sad don't just be sad that they're gone. Be grateful that you knew them. Okay? That's where we make room for joy. When we get together and tell all of the wonderful Ruth stories. Make room for joy. Okay. So there's that. I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain will work better. And if you're going to spend a whole lot of time crying, you might as well drink. You want to hydrate to have good, full, healing tears. There is science behind that. I am not joking. Tears are very healing. Depending on the kind of tears, they have different hormones in them. So hydrate so that you get good ones. Okay. Seriously. I've looked into the science of tears. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. If It's cloudy right now because the storms were interesting last night. Artificial light counts. All right. Early in your day, bright light. What are you talking about, Doc? And then, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. Because it is a state of mind. If we are individualized centers of God consciousness, absolutely, we have the power to create heaven around us because it is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It's a state of mind. Okay? Means that you can create it. And heaven becomes any place when you can do that. Even in the midst of grief. So, and I've lost my train of thought. So here's where I will do the social media part, which is, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. If you want to know what's going on in the center, including, I have not opened the email because I wasn't ready to face it. But it is pinned to the top of our Facebook page. So you can scroll up from this video, or you can, if you're watching on Facebook, or you can go open your email, or if you don't get the email and you can read the memorandum for Ruth. I'm quite sure it's fantastic. I hate to say this, but Jessie has a lot of practice writing these. So the email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. The hot links are hot. They will take you to where you want to know. And if they don't take you right to the information, they'll take you to the person that can get it for you. So, please feel free to check that email out. All right. Deep breath, right? Because here's the part where I tell you to have a great day. And maybe you don't want to have a great day, and that's okay. Because I start out by encouraging you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, a Friday, because it's Friday this year. A be gentle with yourself day, a get stuff done day, a get ready for the weekend day, a get ready for the new year day. But I also remind you to have a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because it might be right now, I get it, simply have a day. Because you are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are a godling. You are an individualized center of consciousness in God. You are God in, you are God, you are activity in God, God's activity. What do I like to say? You are God in motion. You are spirit in action. Those are words that Ernest Holmes used. You heard me read them today. That is who you are. So, have the day that you need to have. All right? And know that you're loved. Always. So Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow, because it's Saturday. And take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, especially now. And know that you're loved. I will see you next time.